welcome to our first episode of 2013 Overkill. We took a little bit of a hiatus in 2012 to kind of get ready and really make a good year for 2013. So thank you everybody for watching. We are once again at the Partisan, which is awesome. You guys know where it's at, yes? Lots of strong drinks and lots of great people. And I have a very, very exciting announcement to make. We had like the best drunk business meeting last night of my life.
Jesus Christ. RC
has decided to become my co-host, which I'm absolutely thrilled about. Thank you so much.
Thank you, IPA.
IPA and Crown.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's exciting. I'm stoked. I haven't missed an episode and now I get to...
I'm really, really excited and I'm shocked that you wanted to do it.
Oh shit, well I was drunk.
Yeah, but you kept your word.
I did.
So that's cool. You had a busy day today.
Yeah, well last night I also, while doing karaoke, I guess I signed up to audition for Jesus Christ Superstar. So I woke up this morning and yeah, I had my day planned out already.
You
so.
did. Yeah. You did from a drunken karaoke.
Good things happen when you're drunk.
Damn straight they do.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but last night was good.
Yeah, no, last night was beneficial.
Right on, right on. So yeah, so welcome RC. He's also the owner of Partisan. So
and that's not how I got this.
No, yeah, well, yeah. No, it's absolutely not. I was absolutely thrilled. I never thought in a million years he'd want to do this, so this is great. For our first episode, I'm very, very excited to have Juno Appleseed.
Oh, Juno.
Yes, on our podcast here. Many of you know him around town, Merced, as a photographer. He has made quite a name for himself in the short time that he's been here.
The Buzz Kid.
Yes, the Buzz Kid.
The Buzz Kid.
He's the new club kid, Buzz Kid.
The Buzz Kid?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you a club kid?
I don't know.
He is now since he turned 21. He's here all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, club kid, you can have like stuffed animals around your neck, glow sticks.
And platform shoes.
Handing out bottles of water to everybody.
Jimmy turns 21 and just gets all club.
So into rave, guys. I'm just so into rave.
Yeah, hold up what you're drinking. He's really into raves. See that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rave beer.
PBR.
What I do is I just drop some food coloring in it, so it's like fancier.
Right on.
Like my rave beer.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I don't know. I'm sure that a lot of people know. Do you mind if we say that you are from my loins?
No, they're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Good-looking people.
You think so?
People figure it out.
So tell me, what exactly are you doing? What are your plans for 2013? What's going on with you? Tell me how you got to Merced.
Man.
Yeah, I know.
I've had this every time I've had this conversation, I've been in trouble.
Sorry.
It's like,
well, that's what happens when you move to town and then you like start creating a name for yourself. I mean, everybody wants to know like, who is this fucking dude? You know. So,
yeah, I've had a lot of that. Yeah.
So tell Juno, who is this fucking dude?
This fucking guy right here. Tell you something. All right. No. What's our original question? What am I trying to do?
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
Where are you from? I mean, we know Texas.
San Antonio, Texas. Born and raised. And I lived there most of my life. Went to school there, as you guys know. Not you as much, but you're learning a little bit.
A little bit. As the hour goes on, I'm gonna be a pro.
I know.
You're gonna be good. Yeah, you guys are gonna be in cahoots. Yeah. So went to school there. Came out to California after school. Went back to Texas for a while.
Well, tell me about when you went to California.
The first time, well, I graduated high school and I went and backpacked. I gave you a heart attack.
Yes.
So I just went out and hitchhiked and
yes,
had a great time. Went up to like Pacific Northwest.
From San Antonio is where you started.
San Antonio, I took a Greyhound out to Sacramento. And from Sacramento, that's where I started going. I ended up as far as Tacoma, Washington.
Take a Greyhound.
I know, but what he's not telling you though is that this is what was so funny to me. I mean, actually, it did give me a heart attack, and I can say this because of his mom. But so he convinces me to give him a ticket to Sacramento because his girlfriend in San Antonio, his ex-girlfriend, lived in San Antonio but was from Roseville, which is Sacramento.
Small world.
And so I said, okay. I said, is her mom okay with you staying? And he's like, yeah, sure, yeah. She's fine with it. And I said, okay. So we bought him a ticket. He got there. Was like, hey, we're here, woo, yay, great, this is great, all right. 4 hours later, he says, I'm on Highway 99 and I'm going up north.
On the 5.
On the 5, sorry, he was on the 5.
Checking on the 5 is illegal, isn't it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Fucks with me.
There
Go
we go.
ahead.
No,
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, I started hitching up the 5 in California. They don't care. When policemen drive by and it's wave to you, they don't care. It was really like, I think that people, when I tell them, they get a way different like idea of what it was in their heads, and it wasn't. It wasn't dangerous. It wasn't anything like that. I don't think I was ever like a time where I was freaked out or I felt uncomfortable.
You were hitching rides from like the on ramps or whatever. Is that where you were standing, or?
Yeah, most of the time. Most of the time, just like right before the on ramps, or like you just watch like where the traffic is, but each place is different. But
Somebody bought you sushi in Portland?
That was in Portland. That was weird enough. That was in like Bandon, Oregon, I think. It's like just above Crescent City. It's like on the border, like within a 20-mile range of California and Oregon. But I had people that give me money, and like I had people give me food, and like just.
So you started in San Antonio, to Greyhound to Sacramento or Roseville.
Sacramento,
and then the
downtown Sacramento. Yeah.
Whatever happened with the chick? I guess that didn't work out.
No, it wasn't that. It was like I don't even think I
was
really
it a lie the whole time?
I don't think I had a plan. I don't think it was a lie because I didn't know what I was doing. It was like, how can you tell a lie if you don't know what you're gonna do? Yeah. So I think it was kind of some of that. I knew I wanted to do it though. Like I had been vocal about it.
You knew you wanted to hitchhike.
Yeah.
So you got to Sacramento, and you were just like, I'm just gonna go from here.
Yeah.
So then you hitchhiked north.
Yeah, just went north. Yeah, and that was like the weirdest thing, like that transition into it, because it's like. It's something that is a lot in like folklore type, it's like the beatnik generation, you hear like stuff like that and you're like...
The bohemian
dream,
yeah,
like on the road and all that. And I don't know, once you do it that first time, it's just like with anything though, you always like get these grand ideas of what something is in your head, and then you have to totally throw all that away, break it down, and then learn for yourself like what it is. Yeah. And I think that's what was good about that trip, is that it taught me that. Like it taught me just to...
Who picked you up first?
Oh man, they were... It was these guys. They were like they grew marijuana for dispensaries in LA.
Sweet.
And they were the first ones to pick me up. Yeah.
Look at you. Lucky you.
Yeah.
Yay.
How far did they get you?
They got me up. Where was I? Was just outside of Redding.
Okay.
You know where Redding's at?
Yeah,
it's weird. Like when I went through Redding, I'll tell you, that was the craziest place. It was like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like I was walking, it was really early in the morning, and I had that was like one of my shittiest nights, like the first time on the road, because you just don't know, and like if it gets dark, you can't find a place to sleep, and you're just like, what do I do? So I just had the worst sleep that night and everything, and right when the sun came up, I was like, oh, get in the sun, and I got a ride into Redding. This was like 7 o'clock, and I'm walking through, all the kids are going to school and stuff, and like it's all Shasta High and like all these things like on the side and everything, and like kids were like riding in on class like with skateboards and like going down the hill, and like teachers are all yelling like, like the bell rings and like the whole school is late. Yeah. And you're like, this is so strange. Kids smoking and this.
So you just roll you roll into like a stereotypical California.
I did.
Like
I really did.
Like you're hitchhiking, you're picked up by guys that grow weed,
right?
And then you stop in Redding.
And then
like
totally.
And then here's the weirdest part, because it really goes to show you, and that's why I believe in all of the, like, if you think something, like put it into the stream of consciousness, it can like, it'll change your outlook, it'll change like how you're doing things, the people you meet, all that. So since Redding, I would just sit down in the front of like a like a Whole Foods or something, go in there, get a bunch of Cliff Bars and just be chilling. And like people would come up, they'd be like, sit down. Oh, so you on the road? Yeah. And like, did that same thing, when I was and it's like you just meet these people that are doing the same, and they can recognize it. Yeah. And you talk to, and everyone that I talked to, it wasn't like some burnout. It was like, oh, I did that too. Right. Like successful people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I think yeah. And that was one of the things. I mean, obviously I was terrified as a mom, letting him kind of go right after high school, 18, and and at first he was like trying to hitch rides on Craigslist, and I was like, no, let's not do that. I was like, I felt safer with him actually hitchhiking as opposed to that Craigslist, only because I always think of Craigslist as setup kind of for that kind of thing. I don't know why, but I do. Hitchhiking to me was just like, okay, people who are trustworthy, people who are good people are going to pick him up, and I always kind of felt that. And there was one lady who picked you up and drove like 40 miles out of the way.
Yeah, she drove like 2 extra hours. She was.
Oh, 2 extra hours. Shit.
No, I don't know how long it was, but I know that we were in Bandon, Oregon, And that's how this one started. Like, and so I'm telling you, man, this whole trip was just like the weirdest shit. Like, it was really weird stuff. I was just sitting, thinking, it's like 6, 7 o'clock. And I had some people I was meeting in, what is that, Winchester Bay, Oregon or something like that?
Yes.
I had some people I were meeting there, and they were like RV campers, like, you know, nice, kind of little upscale. But my goal was I was going to try to get there as soon as possible, and I got, you know, about 2.5 hours out, I think. I was in Bandon, and this lady comes out of a grocery store, and I was sitting there eating like some SpaghettiOs or something, like right out of the can, and she's like, hi, and I'm like, hey, how are you? Good. And then she stops, and then she like looks again, she's just like, so, like, what are you doing?
See,
I'm
that
like,
gives
well,
me
I'm
chills.
just going out, like,
Because
doing
you
this
knew
stuff.
he was a good kid.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, you know, just, you know, I'd explain to people, and like, I always I didn't tell anybody, like, oh, I'm running away or anything. I just tell them, like, that's what they always ask. You talk to your mom? Like, whatever. I'm like, yeah. So that lady, just off those, like, 5 words, then was like, all right, well, I'm going to give you a ride up to, you know, I can get you, like, Coos Bay or something, which should be halfway there. I was like, yeah, I'm down. That's great.
Yeah.
So I get in the car, and we just start going, and, I start talking to this lady, and she's like, she teaches at an elementary school, I think, with special needs kids. And, you know, I was telling her just like I was really positive at, like, and I still am, but at the time, you know, you're just going through, like, it's such a surge of, like, accomplishment and, like, positive energy. And, exactly. So it's like every day you're just overloaded with it. And so, you know, I would tell people, like, why I was out there. Like, I would just give them my spiel, like, you know, this is what I like doing. Like, I enjoy this. I want to learn some stuff myself. And we just get to talking, and she's like, you know, like, I just beat cancer. My husband left me while I had it. Like, you know, I feel like I felt like shit. And, like, we just started talking, and she's like, you just have inspired me. And, like, we got to Coos Bay, and she was like, well, I'm just going to keep going. And I was like, oh, okay. And
so at this point, she's just like, now you guys are like a team.
Yeah.
She's like, I need to get the fuck away too.
And she was enthralled in his story. Exactly.
It's like, if you're escaping, I'm escaping.
Right. At least even just for an hour.
That's what it was. And it was like, I think that people kind of, they like that, because I was super young, and I wasn't trying to tell people, you know, oh, this is how you can fix your problems and stuff. But I would talk to people about it. Yeah. And I would just like, each person was different. I had that though with, I'd say, like 85% of the rides. Like, I can still remember rides that gave me money, and it's just,
even inviting you in to take a shower.
Yeah, there was
you needed.
Yeah, there was. Oh man, I had just gotten. I wanted to hop a train, and I've only hopped one freight train.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that scared the fuck
Go get
out
your legs
of me.
cut off.
This shit was balls out.
That
Crazy,
scared
dude.
the crap out of me.
And you did that on that trip?
Yeah, I was in Portland, and
which is, from what I understand, is an amazing place to catch a train.
It's a big deal there. Yeah, I'll tell you what though, them train hoppers are out of their mind, because it takes like 3.5, 4 hours. I went from Portland, Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. That's like an 1.5-hour drive. Yeah. And it took like 3.5, 4 hours, and it was like the loudest, like metal just shaking, you know, and like you know, the rails would just scream, and like it was just dirty. Like, you couldn't, like, if you're trying to be in there and not get, like, you just might as well like roll around in it. And so when I got off that train, I was just, I was like, Portland wore me down, because I was there for 7 days.
He was like Pee Wee Herman with the bum that was singing the Johnny Crack Corn. It was all cool when he first got on, but at the end he was like, fuck this shit, I'm never hopping another train in my life.
I'm not going to get on one for like 5 hours.
Dude, it was like, it was so
after like
bad.
2 minutes, you're like, fuck! Fuck!
Yeah.
What the fuck did I just do?
It was just so crazy. And like, I remember sleeping on it, and like just having weird dreams and everything. But yeah, when I got off of that, like, I went back down, like, I just wanted to get out of Portland, because I was there 7 days. And when you're like running, like, just around that city and shit, that place stresses you out.
Really?
I've always
well, there's so many homeless people there, right? That
there's
there's
a lot of junkies,
you're kind of fighting,
and they're not. Well, yeah, and it's not even like most of them. I don't know. I was kind of like clean enough. Like, I was like smart enough to not, you know, I knew their bullshit. Like, I didn't even really associate with most of them like that, but. It was more like stuff like this. Like in Portland, when I was there, like, I was fixing up this bike that I found, and it was like raining, and I was putting the chain back on. I was sitting there, and
that bike appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, that bike. Like, I was talking about it the day before. Like, I was like, hey, I'm gonna need a bike if I'm gonna be here for a little bit. And dude, it's just unreal. Like I have tons of these stories, and that's why I don't talk about this much because it sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
It sounds like straight bullshit.
In reality, you were in some crack house in Austin the whole time.
Right?
Cracking it up.
No, he was in Happy Funland.
Yeah, you were in
Super Happy Funland.
Long strange trip.
Yeah, but it was just.
But so you didn't stop in Portland. You went up there, and then where'd you go from there?
Right. So after Portland, though, because I wanted to get out of there, because when I was fixing my bike, there was this woman and like her little daughter or something. Thank you.
Oh shit.
And
No, he's bartender too.
and so I was
Thanks, Dan.
I was sitting there, and you know I heard something. They were talking about homeless people. Like I'd already kind of heard that, and then she says why are they out here? Like what are they doing? Like why is he living out here or whatever? And her mom just looked at that little girl right there, and she said, "Oh, it's because his parents didn't love him."
Holy shit.
And like I looked up and I was like, I'm the only person around here. Like, why would you say that? Like,
And that is love.
But here's the thing. But here's
Oh
the
my
thing,
God.
though. But here's the thing, though. When you see like that being taught to the children, like these are how these children are gonna. Instead, like that's what I figured out about like the homeless stuff like that. There's no one way, right way approach to just judge it all. It's like each person's gonna be different, and a lot of it's probably for PS.
But do you think though that attitude, and I mean going back, you know, to me, not saying that, you know, I was ever the best parent in the world because I know I wasn't, but you've always seen me, like if I had an extra dollar, if I had something, that
Yeah.
I would give that to, you know, a homeless person or somebody in need or whatever, and I never judged them.
Right.
And I'm wondering if you got that attitude, even if it was just kind of subliminal.
No, it definitely was. I always and before another thing too is it was before I went on the road and I had a car and everything, and you know I was just finishing up high school. I would that was my thing. I liked giving like cigarettes to homeless people whenever I could and stuff because I was like I'm gonna be on the road. Like I want to build up this like road karma.
Road
karma.
Going on, you know. And now I'd say the only difference now is I still do that kind of like blind generosity where you just, here man, like if you're gonna smoke crack, go smoke crack. Like just don't tell me. Like here's some money. You know, if you're gonna get food, that's cool. Like whatever you want, it's your money, I'm giving it to you. But my approach now is more, if like dude doesn't remember my name and he's ran the same hustle on me in this town, like, hey man, you got $1, I'm just trying to me, that's when it's like people are people, and I'm going to treat you that way. So if you come up and keep asking me about that, yeah, I'm going to be a little irked off.
Oh yeah,
it's like,
sure.
It's like
There was
just
this dude
change
that was
it up,
running around
like-
town for like 5 years, and I swear his family was like in a car for like 5 years, like broken down, out of gas. He's like, yeah, my kids are, you know,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my car. I'm like, fuck, go get your kids,
Right.
bro.
Right.
It's been a long time since
I know. They're grown now. They're not teenagers.
Are we there yet? Shit.
this nickel that I'm gonna give you.
Went on a road trip like 5 years ago and never got anywhere.
They're just out there waiting patiently.
Chilling in the car.
They have jobs themselves.
So tell us where you ended up.
Oh, well, I ended up in I was staying like in an apartment in Tacoma, Washington, with some other people, and I really liked Tacoma because Tacoma.
You ended
was
up
just-
in an awesome apartment with a bunch of people.
Yeah, and
Doing
I still
what?
know them and stuff.
Eating.
Yeah, eating, chilling, you know. I did get a lady friend when I was up there, and yeah.
In Tacoma?
Yeah.
Tacoma.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Tacoma.
Oh, she was from Jersey originally. She used to like smoke Newports and stuff.
So mixed Jersey with Tacoma.
Yeah.
It was crazy mix.
I don't think I'd want to like live in that apartment.
It was, well, no, but you didn't live with the
No,
lady friend.
no, didn't
You
live
lived
with
with a black chick and her boyfriend, right? And she cooked really fucking good, right?
Yeah.
How long
She
were
was
you
going to
there?
haircutting school and stuff.
How'd you
yeah.
meet? Wait, yeah. There's a lot of questions. How did you meet these people? Then you hit them up. You're like, can I crash on your couch, stranger?
No, it was
Tacomian?
Tacomian?
What are they?
I think they're Tacomians.
Tacomian?
We're Mercedians, so I would assume.
Tacomites?
I don't know.
They're
Mercedian
dirty. That's
sounds
what
like
it
something
is.
from Star
Tacoma's
Trek.
dirty. The
Yeah.
aroma of Tacoma.
There's this place that I played once in Tacoma called Bob's Java Jive. Did you ever go there? And it's the fucking place is a big coffee pot.
Oh,
And you
how
play inside
awesome
of it.
is
Oh,
that?
Yeah.
that is cool.
Yeah, they
I
used
don't
to have a
think I saw
monkey.
that there.
They used to have a monkey.
Oh shit!
They like ran around the fucking coffee pot, like inside.
Kind of monkey,
yeah.
like a little spider monkey?
I
Like
have no
Friends
idea. The monkey
or
was
like
long gone.
It was,
You know,
okay.
someone tried telling me that the monkey now lived in the walls, but
Yeah.
I didn't believe
The
that.
thing, the coolest
I'm a
thing,
sucker.
the coolest thing about Tacoma though is like the whole script is like flipped. Like I could walk down the street and I was a tall, skinny white boy, And there's a lot of meth heads up there. So when they see tall, skinny white boys, they're like, don't fuck with him. Like he's a meth head or something. So it was like walking around like feeling like you were like the gangster of the town or something. You could like walk by and people even like like the brother man and stuff would still look and be like, I ain't gonna. Like we were at a gas station one time.
Like don't fuck with that.
We were at
He's probably in a metal band.
Yeah, we were at a gas station and we were with that lady friend and then another buddy of mine who was like the same height as me but a little bigger.
What was his name?
Yeah, I don't want to say names.
Okay.
Call him Jay. So we.
It was K. Sorry.
So we're pulling up to this gas pump, and there's this couple in front of us, and they're like halfway back in the other one. It's like, hey, we'll pull up a little bit, so we like flash the lights and stuff like that. And the wife kind of starts popping off a little bit. She's like, oh, who do you think these people are? Like, who do they think they are? And then me and Justin got out of the car, and man, that husband was like, shut up, bitch. Get back in the car. Like, shut up. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like not even a violent person.
That's a meth head, metalhead.
So he's like, get in the car right now. And I was just like, really? It was like, come on.
I have power.
Yeah, it was, so it totally flipped the script. And after a while, you walk around, you're like, yeah. I can get down with Tacoma.
Juno's all hard.
I know.
He's
not even the meth head. I know he wears like the wife beaters and shit going on. I know.
I just thought that was funny because I kept thinking, I'm like, why are people like crossing the street and not like the nice guy? Just came from like Humboldt County where everyone's all like, hey,
right. And with the Humboldt County, it was funny because I got a text because we were like, keep your phone on at this point because I really wanted to know where the hell he was, because I was still worried.
A straw?
I know it.
No, this one was coming undone. It was like,
oh, okay. So that's a cold beer.
That just means that they gave you more beer than they were supposed to, I guess.
Thanks.
Is it frozen?
Beer.
Compressed beer.
It's
it's a little bit frozen, that's why.
Okay. Yeah, but the refrigeration. See, your dude's awesome.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Shit, man.
Okay, so you're in Tacoma, so you're okay. So you're a badass in Tacoma, and then you're just like, oh, I need to get out of here. I need to take off. I need to be out of Tacoma.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't know what was going on. Like a buddy that I'm still good friends with. He one of his really good friends had died, and like he went back over to Virginia for a while, and like I just didn't really. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I went back home for a while, and that was just like when I
back
got
to San Antonio.
Yeah, and that time it really did suck because it was like I didn't even know what to do with myself. Like the first thing, and I know what I was supposed to do, but you got to understand, like I just was doing whatever I wanted for like 2 months and like just complete freedom. Then I come home, they're like, oh, you got to get a job and stuff, and it's like, well, people used to just hand me money.
Yeah.
Like, you know what
I
I
mean?
It's
I never
like,
did though, because that's when
you were cool about it.
I was really cool about it, but that's when me and Dan were really hard on our luck too, because I had lost my job, and we were just like, we were like getting to that point where we were like, okay, what the fuck are we gonna do? I'm not gonna move back with my mom and dad. You were staying like friends' houses and stuff like that.
I was at
weren't you?
Dad's for the most part.
You were with Dad, okay. And so, I was just like, shit. And I remember having to tell him, it's like, man, we got to move to California because, like we had a better support system here than we did in San Antonio. And which shocks the shit out of people, the employment opportunities were better. For me, they were better. Obviously it was like Sacramento and like Bay Area and stuff, but in San Antonio there were no jobs.
It was weird though. Yeah.
And so it was weird from a mom's perspective, with him just coming home and him kind of like, shit, I've had all this freedom and I've had, this really like growing kind of heartfelt experience, and now I'm kind of trapped back in this. And then Dan and I were kind of feeling like we were trapped.
Well, and it takes a while to. Like, I think really this, I guess in the past like 6 months, like when I came out here and I did blow up quick, but I think the reason being is I finally kind of learned like how to use those skills that I was like using on the road. And like I kind of learned, like I always knew what it taught me, like even from the second something happened, you kind of think about it and you're like, hey, it's cool, but as it marinated a little bit more and like I told the stories more and stuff, because at first you just tell people and it's so impressive. But you can't put that on a job resume or something. Like you can't.
But why not?
Adventurer.
Right.
Why
I do it.
couldn't you?
I do it. But it's because just that's the way a lot of the world is and stuff. But I started like when I got a job, my last job in San Antonio. That's what I did. I just went up to the guy and I didn't fill out hardly any of the application. I was like,
yeah, that's the first place
if you want to know my my work experience or whatever. Like you can just ask me. Like it just got to that. Like I didn't know what to put. Like what am I supposed to fill out? How am I supposed to tell
If
people?
I was a hiring manager and if I saw that you hitchhiked from San Antonio to Tacoma and you listed the experiences that you had, I would be like, that's the guy.
But it kind of finally translated to me. Like I'm much more like with my. I've always had people skills, but I took those for granted for a while. Like because I grew up being like a pretty charismatic, like that kind of person, and after a while it wears on you because it's like you're known as that person or whatever. And so I just kind of had to like regroup and like figure it out again, and then I think this is where I'm at right now. That's what led up to this point. Like that's.
Huh.
Yeah, it's cool. And I'll back up really quick. When I say that we didn't have a support system in San Antonio, we did. We absolutely did. But we were just at that point where it was like, my parents had enough on their plate and we just did not want to go back and move in. So yeah, so Mom, if you're watching, which I don't think that she is, but it's not that. Yeah, so then, okay, so.
Well, I want to figure out, okay, so, all right, so you're in town, and I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm just like, the first time I think I met you was when you guys were doing an episode of this in the back room.
Right.
And I was like, oh, there's some dude, that's hanging out. Then I heard this Juno Appleseed name thrown around a couple of times. Then I found out that you weren't 21, and I was like, wait, hold on, who the fuck is, there's this kid, and he's like, he's doing this show, and he's in the bar. And then Joey, my brother and co-owner, the partisan with me, he was like, oh, it's fine, he's doing that. And so you're in there. Then and so you're doing this shit, and then I start seeing like the crazy fucking pictures you did,
faces,
the faces thing. And I was just like, whoa, like so that okay. So I know you as I knew of you as a photographer.
Right.
So what I was wondering is when you went on those adventures, when you were sauntering through the states, were you doing photographs at that point?
I was, and it was kind of another thing like that. Like it just school, like high school, wore me out. Like I hated it by the end of it. I absolutely hated it. Like it was all my years. Like I got really good grades, and then high school, it was just. There was a point where I just said,
but you're
like,
supposed
fuck
to hate
this.
high school. Isn't that what it's there for?
Right, but it was the reason I hated it so much is because I felt like they were screwing us. I felt like they were putting us into a world and not telling us what we were getting into. And I had a little glimpse of that shit, and I felt like I was getting fucked over because it's like you're sitting here trying to teach me economics or something like this, and all you do is, if I even have an opinion, you'll fucking kick me out of the room or something like that.
Right.
Or if I have anything to say, but it's like you're not. Like you're throwing me. Why aren't we learning how to do taxes or some shit in economics? Like why senior year of high school, not one time did they say, hey, anybody want to learn how to file a tax report? Like because you're gonna have to do that in another year. Like you're doing that. So where was that? Like that was my thing. I was really upset, and like I think I was a little too big for my britches with that shit. But I went to early graduation high school type thing.
How old were you?
I just turned 18, so I signed myself up for it. I graduated probably a few months early. I still got the same diploma and everything though as if I went to, because I could finish most of my school.
They didn't want you to drop out.
Right, but fuck, economics, my 12-week course or whatever, I finished that in 4 days on a computer.
Yeah.
So try to tell me they're not wasting my time.
Yeah.
How can I learn something in 4 days? Why do I have to go every day? And then you're just going to throw me into a world that there's no classrooms. Like where do you go to?
It's money, man. That's why you have to go every day.
Right.
That's why you get in trouble if you don't go to school. Is because that's how they
the more seats that they hold, the more money that they get.
But it's there are good teachers too. There are there's amazing teachers, and we've all had amazing teachers.
Yeah.
But yes, there is this fucking system in place, and it's a little fucked up. So you didn't go through the whole cap and gown graduation thing.
And that's what they would always threaten me with. If you don't shape up, you're not going to walk the stage or anything like that.
He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, neither did I.
Neither did I.
I was like, can you just send me home now? Like, can I start this suspension? Because I'm trying to get out of here, man.
Can I just get a diploma?
I got put in a situation where in Merced, you go to, in 5th grade, all the elementary schools, we go to Camp Green Meadows, right? It's this place where you go, and
we had
Jack L. Boyd outdoor school. And so I went to that, and then so I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I had a counselor, my cabin leader or whatever. He was just fucking badass. And so I just always wanted to do that. I was like, I'm gonna be a cabin leader one day. So I did my whole school thing, started here, went here. And then I got to another school, and I was just about to. They gave me the opportunity. They said, "Okay, well, you can transfer back to this high school or whatever and graduate with your class, or we see you signed up to be a counselor at this school. But if you do that, you're not going to be able to go back to that school." So I was like, I'm going to be a fucking cabin
Right,
leader.
exactly, exactly.
I'm going to be a fucking cabin leader. I was a cabin leader. I was a hell of a cabin leader.
I bet you were.
I mean, that's the way I look at it, you know, because I will things that I enjoy, and I know that can be kind of like a double-edged sword way, but like things that I enjoy, I will put. That's when you see my full effort potential and stuff like that.
Well, you seem like an all-in guy. Like it's like everything you get into. Okay, so you're always. It seems like you always have this idea. Like like I keep running into, and you're like, check this out. I'm thinking about doing this.
And a
this
lot of them, and
project,
it's funny because I don't want people to get like that confused with like not going through with stuff. But it's just I have those every day, and I bounce them off of people, and if they develop, and it just ends up going into its own thing, and I can see it like coming together. That's when it's like, then I'm boom all in. Like that's how faces happen.
So how did you get into photography?
You took me. When I was in 8th grade, and I wanted like a video camera really bad because it was a big thing, like film your friends skateboarding and stuff.
Right.
And so you took me to Best Buy, and spent like $200 and some that you didn't really have on, you know, a nice little Sony camera and stuff. And like, you know, my dad got me a little fisheye lens for it, and so I started doing that. And I still remember it's the weirdest thing. The girl at that Best Buy told me, "You're gonna get a little bit older, and you're not gonna do this video stuff anymore. You're just gonna start taking pictures. You're gonna want a real camera." And I was like, "Alright, bitch, whatever." You know, like I didn't even know what she was talking about. And then now I'm like, she was right.
Yeah.
You know, she knew.
Weird.
I just thought that was interesting. But
were you doing like skate videos and shit like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like I would go to like demos like with pro teams and stuff, and just get my way to the front and start like.
He went like with. I was so pissed off one time. He had like a skateboard
Yeah, I'm
like
pretty
little
sure.
expo thing, and Johnny Rotten was there.
Yeah, because he was like a dude with flip skateboards.
And I was like, fuck, I miss Johnny Rotten.
Just running around in one of those ugly sweaters, yelling and shit.
Yeah, I was so pissed off that I couldn't go up there and go, fuck you.
The guy with the camera always gets to the front.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it was even like a little shitty camera, but I didn't. There were like the pro filmers right next to me and stuff, and be like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" And like, what the fuck are you? Like, I know your camera's not like you're not with us for sure, but I think it was just I didn't care. I wanted it. Like I wanted to have like pro. Like I just thought it was cool, so I would edit them and everything, do that, and then the pictures started when they gave me like a little. That thing was still sweet. It was just a regular little digital camera, but it was like really simple, easy to use, and like I just started taking stills with it. And then not even a year later, they got me like a little bit. It's a lower version of like what I have now.
And what was that you got?
That was a Canon Rebel. I think it was like a EOS like 300D or 400D or something. It was like it wasn't full frame. It's not as good as the one I have now.
What do you use now?
Canon 5D Mark II.
There's people that are curious about
Canon 5D Mark II.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah,
love it.
So what gave you the inspiration for Faces? And
Well,
for people who don't know what Faces was, it was an art hop exhibit that was last quarters, and he exhibited at Coffee Bandits, and so yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just I don't know. I just had an idea. Like it was simple. Like okay, I can just it kind of sucks because it was like the simplest one. I got it out of the way first.
Yeah.
But it was like I'll just bring people in. I'll get them on this Infinite Black. Like I use Dan just to, like I always do to practice and like get the way I wanted it to look. And I'd always been into the like detail pulling. Like I just thought that was really cool. Like there's a reason to make those cameras that good, and there's a reason that detail comes out. And
and you use the shit out of that.
Yeah, exactly. And
then
so,
the first photo that I saw that you did was I can't remember if it wasn't Kazoo. It was it was.
Might have been Joey.
No, it was the folks from the Playhouse. It was
Corey and Diane.
Okay. And I just saw these pictures and I was like, that is the fucking Tim Burtonest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Tim Burton, thank you.
And that was the Rocky Horror, yes.
Right. And I saw that, and then that quickly followed up with the photo that I saw of Kazoo. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like what? Like I can't see a person like that with my normal eyes.
People kept asking me if like I was painting over them or like they just couldn't figure. Like people when they'd come up to do the little survey thing on the art hop, and which I had hundreds of people come through that door. I'm confident in saying that for sure. Like you could look at Coffee Bandits receipts for that day; they're blowing up. But the thing was, they'd come in and they'd fill out the little sheets, and the kids would come up to me and be like, "What are you?" Like, you a painter, like what do you do?
Yeah, they had
and like
no
they
idea
couldn't
what
even,
it
you know, it
was.
was like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
why do you look like that?
Well,
That was
you-
a good,
you-
it was. Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was
Go
saying it was a
ahead.
good show. It's just that my thing was, I mean, pretty much you set up shop at the home base or whatever, where I don't want to say the location or whatever, but so you set up shop there, and then there's just like people that are just going in over to this place and just getting their photo taken for like a week or something
it
like
was,
that.
I think I did it for. I mean, because it wasn't that long before Art Hop, like
You did it
Coffee
for 2
Bandits.
weeks.
I think it was 2 weeks, yeah. And I just had my setup, and I was there at the Arc every day.
Yeah.
And I was there, like, that was, man, I didn't have any of the like connections I have now and stuff, and I don't know, like it was help from them, like that really connected me a lot to the community.
My thing is when I knew you were doing that, and I just I don't know if it was like, was it expense that set you back from? Okay, on the wall you had what, there was 12 or 15 like actual
there were
prints.
12.
And when I heard about it,
Oh,
there was
18. I'm
Was it
sorry.
8? I thought it was like
18.
24. I thought we did
No, we
24.
had to eliminate.
That's right, yeah. We did
but when I
18,
walked
right.
in, I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
Now what was it? Was it that they're just you couldn't pick anymore, or you couldn't afford anymore?
Each one to print, man, it was like $12.
Yeah.
And then like on top of that, I wanted, I didn't want to leave anybody out. Like if I could have printed them all out and stuff, I'd have done it.
Yeah.
But it was all coming. It was coming down to the wire for one, and then two, it was like,
Well, some were more interesting than
and some were
others.
just more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have
He shot 54.
Yeah.
54 different people.
54 different people, and then I did like a final, like I got to like 40 people, and all edited, all final, like just
Yeah.
the same way I did those, and then I had to start throwing.
Yeah, and it was
those.
really interesting because I mean, he had captured something that I had never seen before, just in faces, and I immediately thought it was funny because I remember who it was. It was Noelle from the Playhouse, and Noelle's picture was there, and I was like, that's totally like lovely Rita meter maid, and I just was like, wow. And then
You commented on Facebook. It wasn't even a message. It was like, hey, you ever think about naming these pictures after Beatles songs? And then I was just like, I didn't even have to think about
But
it.
that's the
Like,
thing
yeah.
that people they don't. I mean, the show faces. There was a. I mean, how do you put it? You had like a Beatles song that was like attached to every portrait. Right?
Yeah, and picked for a reason.
Yeah.
If you look at the lyrics on all those and the people and stuff, they were definitely picked for a reason. So there was time that went into it, like, I guess that's another factor in why we couldn't.
What's your favorite Beatles song?
That's tough, man. It'd have to be, you got Helter Skelter, Happiness to Warm Gun, Strawberry Fields.
And who got those photos?
Helter Skelter is Kazoo. Strawberry Fields, she got Happiness is Warm Gun. Badass. She's awesome.
yeah. No, actually,
We did do Strawberry Fields.
nobody got Strawberry Fields.
Yeah.
No one
it was
it was very, very much,
Your brother was I Am the Walrus.
Yes, I Am the Walrus. Joey was I Am the Walrus. I remember, I mean, there were certain, Rachel from Playhouse was something, and it just, it wasn't
Yeah.
like the best picture of her, but it was so honest. He just captured something from her that,
Well, none of those pictures are flattering.
right.
I mean, that was one of the most impressive things about that show.
Right.
Is I was just like, wow, these, I mean, I guess we'll just call them models. I guess all these folks who went in there and got shot, not shot.
I
Not
shoot
in the
people.
literal
Shoot people.
sense, yeah.
But like all these people that go in there, it's like whoa, and like then their photo goes up on that wall, and it's like, oh, like there's
It was
there's no
powerful.
hiding this shit. Like that is your blemish. That
Well,
is
and I
your
told-
pimple.
I
that
told
is the
everybody.
fucking- that is your dry
It was
lip.
powerful, and that's why I told him, I was like, don't, I told him, I was like, don't freaking put like effects on me where I look like a 90-year-old lady. But
Well-
I told him, don't edit, don't do anything.
Yeah.
Let that be me. And I think that's what, I loved so much about it, is that it was just so true. But at the same time, it wasn't posed. It was just that.
Well, I told everybody that came in there, all I did was, I was like, all right, I'm just going to get my lights right. So just go ahead and talk while I'm just getting my shit set up.
Yeah.
And I'd just take pictures, and then and most of them were in there, and then I'd go, oh, okay, go ahead and make whatever faces you want and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I'd want people, I gave them like that out. Like I never told people what they should do. I just gave them that outlet. Like it was the most specific I got was you just want to make some crazy faces, you want to do some serious faces, you want to do whatever you want.
Did anybody get pissed off because they saw their photo and they're like, oh my god, dude, you didn't fucking edit me? Like I look like shit. You can see.
I think they knew what they were getting into, and I didn't really I didn't think of it that way because it was like, to me it just.
I think everybody loved them.
Yeah, that's what was weird because it was like.
Well, everybody's exposed together, you know?
I think everybody loved them. I mean, people who would come in, you know, just coming like from an outside perspective, and I know that I'm his mother, and of course, you know, it's like, ooh, but I think that I'm unusual in the sense that I really am critical of him, like very, very, you know, I'll tell him, that's not a good idea or whatever. And people were coming in, and I mean, the emotions that they were emitting was just like, oh my god.
It was a great show.
You know?
I went and checked it out. I just wanted more. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
I wanted to see more, and I did not want to stare at a fucking screen and see more photos. I actually wanted to see more photos on the wall with the songs attached. And so, I mean, were you pissed that you that you weren't able to get more photos on the wall?
I was upset that I that I couldn't, but it was one of those things that it wasn't that I settled or anything like that, because either way we were going to tell them, you know, like this, it is what it is, like this is how many people we got up there, this is like what we had to do, and you know, people were understanding and everything, but I don't know, I don't feel like I settled it all, and the reason being is because I'd never done anything like it before. I've never had an art show, I've never shown my work in public or anything, so dude, a lot of it was just faking it till I make it. Like I was just playing along, like I know what I'm doing.
So what's changed since then?
What's changed since then? I know a lot more people now. Now, like I go into town every day, and if I have no money, low money, whatever, there's usually somebody I can get work somehow, or like, you know, people are really willing to like help me out just to kind of keep me going. They just want to see some more, I think. So I don't even get hit up for a lot of like family pictures or something. I get probably like few every month or so, but I get weird. Like I do the business part too, kind of, but as far as just art and everything, yeah, it's.
Have you like? Do you consider yourself? Are you like a photographer? Are you an artist? Like what do you consider yourself at this point?
Well, see, what I really liked is like I like the editing part of it too. Like that's definitely a big part. Like that's a tool in itself, and like using it right and you know, adjusting this and that. So it's like using the computer for art. So I would say I'm one of those people that, you know, I'm using a piece of technology. I've like learned how to use this camera, and like I understand how cameras work, et cetera, and like it's still doing all the work. It's taking the picture, like it's giving it that great detail and stuff. But I think my eye's good for it. You know, because there's some people, like if you look on Facebook, like someone will take a picture over and over and over again, and you're like, you caught them at an unflattering angle, or like, they're always just a little bit off or something. So if someone's eye can be bad at it, like there's got to be such thing as like a good eye.
Yeah, it's so weird with photography now, because there's so many like different apps and shit you can do on your phone.
Right.
Yeah. Like anybody can be a photographer.
I don't think anybody sees the real you anymore, because there's so many different filters, there's so many different things that you can like apply over to it, and that's why I think again the faces thing kind of hit such a chord.
It was an original show, and like I give you mad props for that show. You know, I think now the thing is like, come on, man, like you haven't done another fucking show.
Right.
Like you have to follow that up. You know, I mean,
and how are you going to top it?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. Like I really am, and it can't come any sooner. That would be great if I could just have that idea and stuff. But I'm staying busy. Like, you know, I'm doing video work. I'm doing like some music videos.
Yeah, you were walking around with the Uncool Kids.
Uncool Kids, yeah.
You've been doing good.
Yeah.
So you've gotten back into the video thing. Like you started with the video, jumped out, started doing like photography, like focusing on that.
And that's seriously, that's all Scott and Maggie. Like I know I shout them out all the time and stuff, but I wouldn't have done it. Like I was telling people before, like I don't really do video. Like you can talk to Dan, but you know he's busy now. Like he's got his own shit going on, you know, and like he doesn't want to help out these little kids. And,
don't say little kids. That's what Maggie and Scott. All right.
No, with Maggie and Scott, you definitely do it. But that's what I'm saying. I took over after I did Maggie and Scott's because they were like, couldn't you just film a video or something like that? And I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And then after that, that's when I realized like that's the little kids part. I can help out all the bands that are up and coming by doing videos, doing stuff like that.
When you do these videos, are you like coming up with like the whole idea for the video, or like you doing concepts, or are you just listening to music first and being like, I want to do it. I'm listening to this song. I want to do it here. I want to do it there. Or are you just doing it like kind of like
with the Terra Live one that'll be coming out, and I'm working on that one. Yeah, I pretty much storyboarded that. They had ideas, and we pretty much were on the same page. Like we both kind of had the same idea in our head. But as far as my shots and stuff like that, it was like at first
Dan, can I get another beer? I hate to interrupt.
Bartender?
No problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so at first I was
Thanks,
like, got out the camera and we started like filming a little bit and stuff like that. And he had some ideas and stuff, and then he went over and he like looked, like I showed him like something that I had just filmed. I was like, all right, well check it out, this is how it's gonna look. And then he was kind of like, yeah, like all right, you got it, like So I try to put as much as I can into it. Like if I have the creativity for the video or like an idea or something, I'm gonna try to throw that in there too.
Have you in the videos that you have done, have people been like, oh, I want to do this shot, and you're like, that shot's bullshit and totally overplayed. It's just like the whole like, I'm gonna do a band photo on the train tracks.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's like this
Right.
shit's
Come
so
on,
done.
man. It's fucking old.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's hard, and it sometimes it's more too of how you do it. You know what I mean? I think that, like you said, there is stuff that's like overplayed and stuff, but you can still get away with it with your own eye, and add your own little flavor to it.
I don't know.
Stuff,
I mean, even when people try to get away with it, I mean, it's still just that same played out fucking scene. Like, do you feel like have you had to call anybody out and just be like,
yeah,
I'm not doing that shot. That shot's played out. I'm not doing that.
For the most part, though, they give me the freedom. Like Scott and Maggie, man, they don't even. They're like, dude, do whatever you want. Like you know what you're doing, and. Like, yeah,
well, and
sure.
you did the total, like the black. I mean, that was really pretty.
That was the last one, but I've done 3 for them total.
Damn.
And I don't know what the newest one's up to on views and stuff, but they get like mad views. It's crazy.
Well, they hustle.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. But yeah, so I started doing that for them, and that's how I got on that video.
Yeah.
That video kick. So I'm just, I don't know. I'm really right now. I guess I've been on a bit of a hiatus from like the shows and stuff, and like I haven't.
Well, it's not just been on a hiatus. I mean, shit. I mean,
yeah,
most
but
prolific bands don't put out albums every every
year.
year.
I want people to know that all the stuff I've been doing lately, I've been filling my time trying to like expand the horizons a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to do next?
Yeah, like is there a goal? Like is there a place that you want to be? And, like,
I know, like just on that vague shit. Like I know, I'd love to have a show, MCAC, any of those show with Main Street Tattoo guys. I've been kind of bouncing the idea off of them of doing some pictures of Merced and have them draw on them and just kind of make some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, I
it's a
just
great idea.
I like when I went
don't
to
say the idea though, because
I know
you don't want
it.
someone to
Right,
fucking
Everybody's
jack
gonna fucking
like when I went
jack it.
to
Damn it.
to Richmond, Virginia this past summer, they have some of the most beautiful like just street art, and it's not graffiti or anything. It's like crazy art that you like. This should be a painting. Like how.
So
not
we'll
even
know,
like murals and
we'll
stuff.
know if something like if Banksy 2 comes along, we'll know then now. He just like freaking out on himself.
No, I cannot paint like that. No, it's not that. But I think like what would Merced look like if we had some crazy stuff on it? And there's a way to do it without going and tagging the building, do it digitally. But yeah, so I mean, there's stuff like that. I still go around. I drive around with that camera, and I mean, I'll pull over the sidewalk.
You're also a photographer for the DLM.
Yeah, what's up, Tom?
Well, is he here? Yeah. So you also done that. So how did that happen?
Oh man, I just bugged him a lot. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you have to bug him?
No,
because Tom seems like
kind of a bugging guy.
Well, no, it's just it seems like it's always like if there's somebody new doing something, then for somehow, some way they end up like working with Tom. You know?
I did a couple pictures for him for the magazine last year when I was here, and like no one knew. Like I just didn't get out like I did this time. So when I came back, he was I already knew him a little. Like I knew him pretty well, but like right when I came back, he was like, "Dude, you gonna be here for a while?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Want to take pictures?" I was like, "Hells yeah!" So I've been doing that now. I mean, I love it. Like I enjoy doing it. It at least gives me something to say. I'll get a job.
Are you gonna get into the whole like band photo thing, like where you like going out and doing like the live shots?
Yeah, I've started doing. You know what I do that at is those like little make it happen shows and stuff, man. I'll go out there and I'll take pictures of those kids.
What are
and
make it
stuff.
happen shows?
Probably a thing of the past, but we're hoping it's still gonna go on, I guess. But they do like. They get like local bands together that aren't really on that level of like touring or anything like that yet, and they're just, I mean, they're trying to make something. They're just trying to do something.
But they're good.
There's some great bands that come through there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Depends on who's playing.
Right.
I mean, not everybody's good.
No, and I'm not saying that. But no, there are some really good bands that you've been taking pictures of, and I think you've been kind of blowing them up with the photos that you're doing.
Have you turned down a band for like, just because you're like, I don't really
recently,
I don't like that music, and I'm just not.
The thing is with those bands and like, you know, I'll be honest about it, and I don't even think it's like mean to say or anything, but the bands that like I really care about the people and I like them because they don't have money. Right. So any band I'm helping them for free.
Right.
And so what I do is like if someone asks me and I don't like their band, I'll be like, nah, dude, I can't do it.
Or if they're not nice people.
Right, or if they're not nice people, but
I mean,
it's not. Yeah, that's a
rule.
big thing. But to me, it's like let's put it this way: I have not turned down anybody recently because of like I didn't like them, you know, or like I just didn't have an opinion on them, and like, you know, I just, you know, sometimes you just can't do it. Like you just don't know those people well enough yet.
Right.
And like if you don't know them, then they're more apt to kind of.
There's an element to them wanting
That's
to help
Dan, the
themselves.
producer. Go ahead.
To help themselves.
Yeah.
Like that's why we got so deeply involved with Scott and Maggie, is because they had so much hustle of their own that it makes you want to help them.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
wow.
and they're endearing, and they're you know, I mean, they're not only are they talented, they're sweet, they're you know, you like them.
Right, and
I mean,
I'll tell you this: they are true. Like, you know, when you think in that classic sense, like now you can make a YouTube video, and if you keep fucking up on your guitar or whatever, you can restart. I'll just keep doing this, and then I'll get my voice just perfect. I'll edit it a little bit and do this stuff, and you know, you get a million tries, and of course one of them you know you might get it. But here's the thing with Scott and Maggie, they will. I don't think I've ever taken like a video of them in more than like one take per shot.
Yeah.
Well,
they're
raw
good.
and real.
Yeah, they're both really good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yep.
straight up.
Yep. No, they're raw and real. What?
So good. I heard it click.
Oh.
Go ahead, it's fine.
Yeah, there's some in there.
Okay.
Like the rhythm.
So now it's just the audio portion. No, actually, it's just going to be us, and when he talks, we're just going to be like, yeah, hello, yeah. No, actually, no. I mean, I think that, you know, it's the realness of them that I really love, and I think that you capture that, and I think that's really
Yeah, but
cool.
then my thing is just, I think they're both amazing. They both have great voices.
Yep.
They're both talented musicians.
Yep.
But fucking stop playing covers. Bugs the shit out of me. It bugs the shit out of me.
Did you hear that?
Oh, I know they're here. And
Stop playing fucking covers, Maggie and Scott.
Like, they're both talented people, and I know that they can write the music, and I know that, like...
Yeah, and they do, and they've got that stuff. Shit, man, the covers get views though, and I think kind of their strategy.
Do get views, but at the same time, it's like, you know, don't you want your own shit to get views? I mean, are you gonna go out there and retake the same picture of that somebody else has already done? I mean, sure, you might put your own spin on it and use your camera and like, you know, and set your levels to whatever.
Yeah.
But like, are you gonna go and retake that? And if you are, do you want to get known for retaking that photo?
Right.
You know? And
That's a good point. I mean, that really is a good point.
I just feel like they're at a point where people know who they are, but they're starting to know them as people who do covers.
We're gonna have you guys on.
Yeah, no,
and
I know.
RC's gonna be asking you all these goddamn hard questions.
Fucking chop down with you.
Yeah, no, I definitely. There's some stuff in the works with them, just as always and stuff. But I think that one, they're building up that like fan base on YouTube and stuff, and it's a real possibility that with them, when they get enough views, then they'll start having advertisements, and then they start getting a little money. And I think, I would guess, from an outsider's perspective, that might be some strategy of them, you know, covering some songs. But yeah, I think they're about ready to break out.
Yeah,
because I know they've got their own stuff. You know, you go see them
I
at
was
a show,
talking
and
to
it's
Scott
like,
at
hell yeah.
the shop, and he was talking about how he was just trying to work on
Right.
his own shit and get his own shit out and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
So what do you want, like, okay, so you're taking photos, you're coming up with all these ideas to like put together another show or whatever, right? So and you're only 21, you just turned 21. So I mean you're
Celebrated
you're-
his birthday here.
Yeah. So you're young. I mean you're still young, and like in reality, you started taking photos how long ago?
I got my first one published at like 15 or 16.
Okay. Where do you want to be in? I mean, I hate the whole like, where do you want to be in 5 years? But is there a place that you want to be? Is there like a goal? Like, do you want to get published in like bigger magazines? Or
Yeah, absolutely. That's a part of it, but I think
not that the DLM isn't huge.
Huge. It's
But, I mean,
huge.
God, it's so
Huge.
big. It's
Yeah,
such a big deal.
Yeah.
what I think is that in 5 years, I hope that I can do enough stuff around here to where I'm gonna have. That's the thing that people don't get about Merced is like all this time that I'm here and I'm doing this, and everyone, if people say, "Oh, it sucks" or whatever, in like even 3 years, I'm gonna have a hell of a portfolio because I do a lot of work here because a lot of people let me do work here.
Right.
So then I can take that, send it to some LA magazine, come here, whatever, New York City, whatever's famous.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Send it to
think he's
them
gonna be
and then
there.
just be like, bam, like, yo, I have a portfolio this thick. I've got videos.
Yeah.
This is how many views my videos have. I'm gonna be
Just don't get
complete, you know?
pompous.
Not at all.
Control
Oh,
yourself,
come
man,
on
because-
now.
No, I
Who's
mean-
his mama?
Hey, if you're still
No,
taking the
but-
pictures, you're not pompous.
Yeah, well, yes, it's very true. But at the same time, it's you see a lot of photographers, because that's the thing with photographers. Photographers are just like
You wanna know
they go
assholes.
out.
You wanna-
Well, it's not. But first, they're just like
No,
they're the most
photographers are
outgoing fucking people ever. They're at everything. They're like in the front. They
But
go out to like
sometimes
every
in the
event.
wrong way, though.
Yeah, but where all these photographers go wrong is that they become these fucking dudes that are just like, oh man, I'm the fucking, this is all about
Yeah.
me and I'm here and like,
Yeah.
standing in front of the band,
I think-
like blocking people's view and shit.
You know,
like that.
as a mom, seriously, as a mom and like a proud mom, but also a critical mom, I see him, really kind of morphing into kind of almost the male kind of Amy Lebowitz. I mean, because he has that gift. I
yeah,
think
live up to that, bro.
He has that gift of capturing something that I think that other people don't. But I think that as he, and he's very comfortable with what he does, but as I think he kind of pushes himself and pushes others, I think that that's where his gift is. His gift is bringing out emotions that I think that people don't really even know that they have. His
I think
gift
people
is
just kind of get comfortable with me. Like I just think I
Yeah.
can make people comfortable, and it's not something I have to try to do or anything. Like I'm not trying to like hustle people like that. It's all honest. But I think as far as the pompous thing goes, I think that when you admit that you're a master at it, or if you're a master at anything,
Done.
then you're done. Because this is going to keep changing. Like that's the thing. It's hard to be pompous because there's going to be stuff that keeps coming out.
Right.
That's going to you just have to elevate your game. And then also when you're not willing to show somebody else how you took the picture, you're either afraid or you're pompous about something. I tell people, and they say, how do you do that? I mean, I give them a little rundown.
That's what I was
like,
asking about your camera, because there's people that they
Yeah.
wonder what kind of camera you use,
Yeah, I definitely, I've never turned anybody down as far as somebody wanting to learn to use a camera. And,
Yeah.
like, even other people that are trying to do business here, like in the same business as me, the ones that I know are a little bit lower, I will help out. The guys that are admitting to be at the same level as me don't need my help. But
Well, it's like a cipher. I mean, it's just like
Right.
when we're having like a songwriting cipher or whatever. It's like everybody's playing their shit and they're like, oh, what chord is that? And,
Right.
like, everybody kind of plays along with each other. Yeah, it's not
Right.
about like dominating the sport.
Well, and not making it exclusive or alienating.
Right.
And that's what I think is so good about what he does, and I think really what the majority of people do in Merced is that they're very, very inclusive.
Do you feel that? Is that true? Or do you feel like that everybody here, you come to Merced, like, do you feel that people are like, they take you in and they're just like, they're down to share and they share the same mindset that you have?
I definitely, because of them already, like I had that going a little bit.
They had a
and-
foundation when you got here.
So people were, fairly open to me. But I think, and this happened, and this is like one of the only times that it happened. But I just, usually I'm the one going out trying to meet people or whatever. And I said to Dan, my strategy for this time is, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna make people meet me. Like I'm not gonna go up to anybody and be like, hey, can I take some pictures for you or something? I'm like, I'm just gonna work. I'm just gonna take pictures.
Yeah.
And hopefully people will recognize it. If they do, fine. And they did, and then they were very, like, I mean, all it took was me just having, like, it wasn't like you have to have like a born talent or anything. It was just one thing, you know, they liked who I was, they liked what I did. And that's all it took for them to totally accept me. Like I'm totally, you know, I feel at home. I feel like I know everybody up and down Main Street when I walk around, you know, hey, how's it going? And it's like they gave me that chance. They saw what I was doing. And that's why I can't say, like, I don't know if it's just the way Merced is, like if they just open up and they're like, hey, don't come on in, because I had different circumstances. But I get the feeling that if you want it to be, and if you just know how to, you know, just the etiquette around here, it's not hard. We go by pretty common sense. Like it's plain and simple around
Most
here.
people
Like,
do. I mean, you'd hope everybody does.
most people do, yeah. But I'm talking about when it comes to like the, you know, what can I do for you? What can you do for me? And you know, you just have to be able to offer some, at least from the business standpoint, when you offer something at the same level as the person you're working with, like, shit, Merced wants to help you out.
Yeah. And I'm still confused. And I mean, maybe you are too. Right, and I keep going back to this. I think it's like the third time I've asked this question.
Oh, cool, cleared up.
But like,
I know exactly what you're gonna Let's go.
But what do you want to do?
Is it business or art?
Is it is there a focus? Is there like a focus? Is it like I want to do like videos? I want to do like band photography, or like I want to do
there's
just
no
like
specific. I like people. I like taking pictures of people. I do like the band videos, like music videos, stuff like that. So I'm kind of on that vein right now. But I think what I want to do, I want to keep going, because I never figured anything out like in prior situations by thinking, okay, in a year I need to make this happen, and by that time it's always just stuff like I said, when I get really into something, I just throw all that out the window.
It's kind of the hitchhiking mentality. And I think he just kind of has that mentality to where, you know, okay, well, I'm going to start here, and wherever I end up.
She'd make a business.
Like, here's the thing.
Juno
That's actually thank you. No, that's the best way. You just basically gave me the best analogy to describe it, because I would always say, no matter what, I could wake up in the morning on the road and say, I'm gonna go to Portland today, and I'm gonna get there today. Well, that's a weird statement to say when you don't have a car or money or anything like that. But just knowing that you can do it and then it happens.
Yeah.
So it's like I get that a lot. So
if you start worrying about the ifs and shit, then nothing's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I just try not to.
It's the Yoda concept.
Yeah.
I don't try to plan what
No, he's always thinking too far into the future. You got to think about today.
Thinking about today, you will.
Yes, thinking about today, you will.
Thinking about today, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
That mentality.
It totally is.
I don't think it shouldn't be confused with like a fuck it, like I only care about the moment type thing. But I catch myself sometimes to where it is. It's just I'm so wrapped up in like just one day. That's why you hear me. I'll say the other day on the beginning of any story, because I don't know how long ago it happened. It's like, oh, so the other day we were doing this, and they're like, yeah, that was last night. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, the other day, remember when they're like, yeah, that was like last year. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I've gotten spoiled. I'm like Einstein, like, fuck time.
Bro.
That shit ain't real.
Careful.
I know.
That shit ain't real.
I know. And he's got to make money too.
So you're like Einstein. You're like what is it, Lebowitz? Hey, it's like, come on.
No, Einstein.
Live up to this. Live up to this.
Einstein stole it.
Well, no matter what, you're gonna be something. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, you're moving and shaking. Just keep moving and shaking.
That's high
Just
praise
keep
from
moving and
fucking
shaking.
RC,
I'm not
man.
praised, dude.
Shit.
What this guy said to me, I told them, I was like, the first thing that RC said to me that I was like, I really like felt like, all right, yeah, no, he might be into what I do. Like when I had the exhibit, I just finished setup, and I was just so nervous that whole day because like I didn't want any of my pictures to fall, and I was just like, oh, it was a wreck.
Yeah.
You just came in, you like looked at it, and you're like, well, good job, you make art. You just walked away and got a coffee, and I was all like,
You made his fucking day that day, man. I will tell you that. He kept on saying that over and over again.
I was like, I finally got them goddamn Essig books recognized.
It's true. Right on.
So.
Okay.
Hey, can I get another one? What is this? This is beer number 4? Or,
I think so.
what are you doing, Slowpoke?
Shit.
I thought this was a drinking show,
It
man.
is a drinking show.
Fucking
God damn.
about to take my fucking
Shit.
shit.
See, I can't wear the hats or else I look bald. I can't do it. My hair's too
I
short.
guess you could, huh?
I can't.
Wow.
I also have like a really big head.
See?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't.
That is ridiculous.
I
That is
know.
like a helmet. You look like the Star Wars, like the dudes that wear the like snow shovel looking hats, like on the.
Snow troopers.
You guys got some of my head?
I know.
Yeah, it looks just like that.
Snow troopers, damn it. No.
Yeah, you put on RC's hat and you look like a fucking snow trooper.
I look like
It was
Snow
cool,
Trooper.
though.
But I'm a fan of the Giants. Woo! It's all good. No, so Marcy kind of asked you and he's grilling you and stuff, and you're still kind of like,
I just don't think he knows, and I mean, I
No.
think
No,
that's
I know.
great.
he's
Like,
21.
Yeah.
no, for sure, and like that's the thing that that I have to remember. I can often expect things from people, even though that I don't expect anything from myself. I expect
Right.
things from people, like especially people that like are doing good shit. Like I expect you to do something, like
Yeah.
you're taking pictures and you're doing photos and you're making art and you're creating. I expect you to
Yeah.
to take that next step, and like I expect you to top what you already did. Same thing with
Yeah.
Scott and Maggie. I expect them to write their own fucking songs.
and I agree, and I share the same.
Your hair is a fiasco.
It looks kind of cool though.
I share the same philosophy as you do, because I do. I mean, I am always, fucking raise the expectation. Okay, you did this, so what the fuck are you gonna do next?
I constantly set a new benchmark for myself. I am
Yeah.
a person that sets goals, but
Yeah.
we're not goals, but it's like more like marks, like the places that I want
Exactly.
to be.
But I think with that, like I think one of the biggest things that I realize is that I understand my age, and I know that there's things that I'm gonna grow into, and there's things that I still have. I'm gonna change. Like it's not that I'm making those changes or anything, but I just understand that people change, and I might have a different outlook. I might do things a bit differently. I might still be trying to find what works and what doesn't. But the thing is, I'm not aware of it yet. Like I don't know if like
Well, you don't need
you
to.
just keep going. Yeah.
There's no rush, man.
Right.
There's no rush.
No rush.
Do you
Kind
feel,
of a
Do you
rush.
feel rushed?
No,
Does this one rush you?
no, Mom doesn't. She really doesn't. She doesn't rush me at all.
Yeah.
And like when I do something that she likes, like she lets me know. I mean, it's and like
Thank you, darling.
her like
Is it
criticism,
okay if I call him darling?
You can call him darling.
but her criticism compared to like her praise, like her praise is 10 times more like just she's about like making sure I'm doing the right thing, like like hey, like here's a little bit of this, like here's some criticism here, here's that. But when I do something great, it's not oh well you could have done this. It's like fucking good job, like this is great, the whole thing's great, you did good. And so I know what it's like to do a good job. I get that praise, so
Right.
I guess that's my goal. I just keep finding that
To praise his mama.
that same response, that same like people saying like good shit kid, you did all right.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I'm going for. So to answer your question, I'm going for more pats on the backs.
That's a
what
good
I'm
thing to
doing.
go for, and the shitty thing is, I mean, every like artist says, oh, like I'm doing this for myself and like blah blah blah, and it's like, but at the same time, it's almost like every artist is just like they're in this constant mission to like find like approval,
Oh, of course. That's why you're an artist. That's
And
why
it's-
you're an actor.
that's why
That's
you-
why
yeah.
you want
You
that.
take photos so people can see them. You play music so
Oh,
people can
fuck
hear them, and you
yeah.
make
Yeah.
movies so people can watch them. And it's.
Yeah.
But I think that's good to admit. Especially
absolutely.
at an age that, I mean, being 21,
Well-
and you're like, oh, I realized that I'm doing this because I need this. Like you're not just like I'm
Right.
doing this for the art of it.
Yeah.
Like
No.
oh, it's just the art. I mean, it is about the art.
Yeah, it is, but it's just I don't have it, and like I don't want people to get twisted too. Like I got to make my money and everything, and
Yeah.
it's not that. I guess what I'm saying with that, like the business side or whatever, it just kind of comes along here. Like it's picking up, and I see where it's going. I think that's going to be fine, but I really do. Like I enjoy like people digging my shit just as much as I like when I see a great band that I enjoy or something. Like I let it be known, like yo, I really like what y'all are doing. Like you
Yeah.
guys are really good, and like it's just cool. Like you're. Because there is a certain level where people can admit when something's moved them or when it's like related to them on even an unspoken level. Like, you touched on some shit that I can't talk to you about,
Yeah.
but you hit home. So it's like just that kind of thing, like that connection. I do it anyway. If I didn't take pictures, I'd just be talking to people every day or something.
Yeah.
Like it's just It's a connection.
It's the hitchhiking mentality.
Yeah.
Juno Appleseed, hitchhiking through life.
Yep.
Hitchhiking through life.
Yep.
Jeez.
Exactly.
That's a good name right there.
Yeah,
Shit,
it does,
we need to delete that one so we can
Nah.
save that name.
Nah, nothing.
I'm gonna write a book. My memoirs are gonna be.
Gallivanting.
Yeah, gallivanting.
Gallivanting. There you go.
Gallivant, brother.
There you
You
go.
want another beer?
Awesome.
No,
There's
I'm
a
good.
whole bunch of them.
I'm good. Are we in a bar?
I'm trying to find out how many there are.
Don't give him. No, don't encourage him. It's
No,
all good.
I don't
Yeah, that's so
anymore.
weird. That's so weird. Like him turning 21, and it's not weird him turning 21. Like everybody's like, "Can you believe it? You have a child?" I was like, "Fuck no, I don't give a shit." What's weird is running into him at the bar.
Yeah, I think so too. The first time I saw my mom come in, I was like, "Oh shit!" It's like, "Joe, my mama's here."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, what do you do?" I was like, I don't know." And she just like came out. She's like, "Well, this is weird. Diet Coke and whiskey," and just orders her shit and then just goes and sits down. And I'm like, "Dude, I thought it was gonna be like trouble or something. Like I need to like shake that off. Like just like, see mom come in. You're like, I'm not supposed to be here. Holy crap, the streetlights are on. I gotta get home."
Now you're
Yeah,
21, so like the next thing you can do, right? When you're 35, you can be president or something like that. So
President.
Hey man.
I can rent a car at 25.
Oh, that's
There you
right.
go.
There we go.
All
Next
right.
thing to look forward to.
Right
Bam.
on. Rent a car. Congratulations. I think.
I don't.
All good.
That's not gonna be
He
a
doesn't
fun
need cars. I think he's already.
Yeah, he
that,
doesn't.
you know.
He's okay with
I
that.
like him.
It's
It'd
okay.
be nice. Be nice. But
Is there anything else you want to add before we end the first episode of 2013? Profound statement.
no profound statement.
And cut.
I know.
Yeah.
And scene.
No, I'll end it with I think thank yous and stuff. So definitely thank you, Mom. I've had to wait a little while to be put on this show and everything, so I'm excited.
Because we
I
have it
get
at
to
the
do-
Partisan.
So I'm excited to do that, and
Thank you, Dan, too.
Thank you, Dan, very much.
Don't be such a fucking mom.
I know. I'm all trying to
Don't
go through
forget
my
to
list.
thank Dan.
I'm
trying to
smart.
get to my list.
And thank RC, too.
No,
All right.
don't thank me.
Hey.
Man, shit. All right, we wrapped it up. No, you got the whole thing. No,
So is there anything else you'd like to add?
Fuck up.
No, but thank you to Dan and Mom too. Just they've done a whole bunch for me, and like I wouldn't be doing any of this shit if it wasn't for you guys. So and then RC, thank you, man. I just love being a part of like this whole family and stuff.
And thank you for being my co-host now, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Shit,
No.
this is awesome.
Yeah, I need to get drunk so I can tell you I'm never going to do this again.
Oh no, you fuck no. Next fucking Thursday we're gonna be doing
She's got
this.
you now.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
got a
be
new
Rob Hypes.
Thursday evening commitment.
I'm
Rob
man.
Hypes.
Oh shit, that'll be fun.
Yes.
That'll be-
Yes.
We all
yes.
audition for something else after that one.
Oh, you will.
Next time you guys need to drink as much as
Shit, man, you guys make the drinks fucking strong here. Seriously, they
Good
do.
stuff. But hold on, shameless promotions. All right, Main Street Tattoos, go see them. They're awesome.
Can you put batteries in
I'm
there?
on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Check out
where
the
can
Partisan.
people, where can people find your shit? Like,
Yeah.
cause this is what we talked about faces, but it's like where can
Yeah, if you
people
go
see
if you go on
faces?
Facebook and you add me and send me a little message, I'll add you on there. I do Tumblr. It's junoapples.tumblr.com. And then
Juno
I've got
Apples.
Juno Apples, APPLES, just short.
JunoApples.com.
JunoApples.tumblr.com, and Tumblr's
Do you go by Juno Appleseed?
MBLR.
Yeah.
Well,
I
then-
shorten it for the websites and stuff like that. It's easier. My email, junoapples@gmail.com.
You know what? Let's just But when is this gonna get posted?
Tomorrow.
Just go to junoapples.com.
Yeah.
I'll buy the fucking thing for you. This is confusing, and then we'll link
We
it to
love
the
you.
Facebook
We'll
or
just
whatever.
link it to everything. All right.
If you want to know where to find me downtown.
Okay, and
Yeah,
then
bam. That's some badass shit right
boom,
there.
boom.
End on
Right.
a good one.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yes, yes.
Outro
and,
me.
and no, real quick shameless promotion if you're still watching or listening. Dearly Departed, last weekend, this weekend, it's sold out tomorrow. I play a mean and surly religious fucking bitch.
See if you can spot her.
Haha. So come and see it. It's at the Merced County Arts Council.
And it's wonderful. It's a great show.
Yes, and then you're gonna have to see Jesus Christ Superstar because I think
Nah,
we're gonna be in it.
yeah. Find out
Yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
all right. That's gonna
We'll
blow
see.
up.
We'll see. Juno, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mama.
Yes, birth name Christopher. Should I shake
Oh,
your
you just
hand?
blew him
Oh,
up.
I know. Oh well, you know.
No, it's
Thank
okay.
you, my
It's
son.
okay. She can do that.
I can do it. Yay! All right. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
All right.
And don't forget to drink today.
No, don't. Partisan. Open till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Don't
Awesome.
smoke a cigarette.